Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our next program at the Christmas Pageant. This is a fun one. I wanted to do some crafting and some hands-on things inside our wonderful gingerbread house, but I am not somebody that is super talented with crafting. I really like easy, simple things, and our wonderful friend, Eron Johnson, who has the most incredible antique store in Colorado, if not in the world, in my opinion, is here with one of his favorite traditional craft ideas, activities. You're just gonna love it. So he's actually hanging out right there. Hey, Eron.
Hello.
Are you guys ready to step inside the gingerbread house and see what he's up to? All right, let's go. All right, you look so great here in our little gingerbread house, Eron.
I know, it's great.
It smells good too.
It does now, yeah.
So this is one of your favorite things that you like to do. I'm calling it a craft. It's more like an activity.
Yeah, it is.
A tradition.
It is my family tradition. I remember doing it as a kid. My kids have done it, and I like to share it. Probably a lot of you have already done this, but it's just something that gets me in the mood for Christmas. And since we're getting close, the time is now. It's called a pomander or pomander, depending on where you are and how you pronounce it. It comes historically back from probably the 1500s, when oranges were first imported into Europe from the southern climates. And they would have had oranges, but they didn't have cloves. So in the discovery of India and all the spices from the East, things really exploded there as far as flavors. This would have been something that they would have used because of smells, but also of flavors. So they work great in a closet or a drawer or something to add a little spicy, kind of clean, spicy smell. And you'll see what I mean. And prepare to get sticky, and because that's part of the joy of it, is that you smell like oranges as you're doing it. And we'll show you what to do.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we have our table here full of I love this when there's only, the ingredient list is very small.
This is as small as you get. It's 2 ingredients.
I like that.
Now, here is what you end up with it after about 3 or 4 years of it being in the cupboard.
Years?
Yes. It just hollows. There's nothing there. It's just hollow. All the moisture is gone. It still smells a little bit, which is really amazing.
And it doesn't rot.
It doesn't rot. It just becomes a little hollow, almost like a nutshell in a way. So I had a cupboard, a 200-year-old cupboard, that never could get rid of its musty Old England smell. And I remembered about doing this one time when, in an Old English cupboard, cleaning it out after I had imported it from England, there were several of these that looked just like that, but even worse for wear, that had no telling how long been in this English cupboard. So that reminded me of what we used to do as a kid, which was the same thing. And so I've made a couple of them here. And basically you just take an orange, and these I had the little guys, which are, what are these?
Well, sometimes they're referred to as mandarin oranges,
Mandarin,
I think.
yeah. But anyway, they're the little ones. We just called them cuties because that was the brand. So, but anyway, they're wonderful. They smell good. They're really tasty. But what you can do, now I cheat a little bit because these tend to crumble if you try to just push it through the skin. So I just poke holes in where I think I would like these cloves to be put. And this works wonderfully. You can decorate a tree with things like this, with old-fashioned craft items. And you basically take the whole clove and you just push it into the hole. Now, like I said, it took me a year or two to figure out that I needed to cheat, because some of these oranges have a very soft skin and you can just poke them right in. Some of them, you'll end up with this clove part stuck in the back of your thumb. So I just cheat now. But it's wonderful. And the smell, I wish you could smell it here because we have clove and orange. Now, the other use for these is when you're mulling cider, you make a few of these, and that's what started me in using the small oranges, was the big ones are awfully big to have floating around in the mulling pot. So these work very well. You just do this, and you can, if you're mulling cider and you want a little more orange flavor, you can cut a couple of slits in here, and then you just drop that into the pot of warmed up cider and sometimes cinnamon, various things. And a little goes a long way. The clove smell and the heat and all of that, it's really wonderful. Now you can do something. I did a quick once over on this guy, and I didn't measure quite right. So you want them to be a little bit longer than this so that they have a nice bow. And then you can hang them from the tree, or hang them in a cupboard or something. There's no end to the number of designs you can make. You will go through a lot of cloves, I can tell you that, though. So whatever your design, you could make smiley faces, Raggedy Ann faces, teddy bears. You can kind of do anything, kind of a starburst design. You can just poke holes and see what you end up with. But it's a wonderful thing. Kids of all ages, including people like myself, really enjoy doing it. There's something really peaceful and nice about creating something that looks good, smells good, and is just satisfying to create something.
It is. It is nice to
And
just
you can
have
just
a product at the end.
Yeah, this you get to end up with something that's different. You know, it's not store-bought, and it is something that especially kids can do and create their own designs. I know there's a hole there somewhere. So here's what happens when you have to push it through. There. It'll leave a dent in your thumb. But anyway, they're just great fun, and I hope everybody that had forgotten that they used to do this as a kid now has had a good reminder. And you will on the big oranges, you can certainly do more like circles with stars and do all sorts of more fun things. But I kind of like these just because I like to stack them up in a bowl.
I love it. Are you going to leave these in our gingerbread house?
I guess so.
Oh.
Yes, of course. And they're just. I wish you could smell them, because it's just really wonderful.
I'm sure our viewers out there are going to make some of them. I love it.
But you will go through a lot of cloves. Just this little bit, I've used half, well, here, but they go pretty fast, especially with the big oranges. So at least get a couple of bottles. And if you have them in the spice cupboard and you think they're old, and just use them anyway, because they kind of come back to life, I think, with a little of the juice from the orange.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Erin, we're in the start of our pageant, and this is our countdown. So we are very excited because we're having an antiques tour with you later on in the event. Are you ready for us?
I will be. There's as in every store and house, when you're having something happen, you tend to get it cleaned up faster. So that's what I'll be doing while you guys are having fun.
Well, we are excited for our antique excursion. So many out there appreciate antiques, and yours is just absolutely the best, a must see. So we're gonna see it.
I think this is such a great idea. I hope everybody's enjoying it.
We are. Well, Eron Johnson Antiques, also a curator to bear dens and gingerbread houses and everything else. Thank you so much. We appreciate you very much.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.